Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jaden Chase. Now, church leaders are calling the recent wage increase given to Jamaican politicians as immoral and shameful after it was exposed that despite other Caribbean countries doing way better than Jamaica, their politicians are not even being paid close to a fraction of what is being paid to Jamaican politicians. Now, it has been revealed that together, the Prime Minister and his wife will be banking over 50 million per year. Maybe we can hear what one and they will continue the reasoning. Look and listen.
Parliamentarians are now going to be getting and compare them to what elsewhere in the Caribbean is paying. So the Prime Minister, Jamaica, for instance.
Yes, so we know that these salaries, I mean, we've done our homework. So I don't know that these salaries
you don't want me to share with the public.
Put parliamentarians and ministers in Jamaica higher than any other country in the Caribbean region.
You're trying to stop me from sharing.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so
I am saying to you, I'm familiar with it,
but
and I'm sharing it as well.
Are not. So let me go ahead very quickly. Prime Minister for Jamaica is going to be over 25 million. Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister is 13 million. Bahamas 13. Minister of Finance for Jamaica 21.7 million. Trinidad and Tobago 9 million. I'm quoting everything in Jamaican dollars. Bahamas 10.2 million. In Jamaica, Cabinet Minister will be at 20.2 million. Trinidad and Tobago 9 million. Bahamas 10.2. And an MP in Jamaica will be at 12.5. Trinidad and Tobago 3.8. Bahamas 4.3. How on earth do we justify these levels of salaries in a country that we're certainly doing far worse than Bahamas? And when you look at what is happening elsewhere in the region, there's absolutely no justification for this, surely.
Okay. So, again, first of all, Barbados, Trinidad, and Bahamas have not entered into a public sector restructuring. The way in which they have recovered from COVID has not put them in a position that they can add this amount to their wage bill to pay their public sectors. Jamaica is the only country in the region coming out of a pandemic that's been able to offer these levels of adjustments to its public service.
Right. Secondly, given what we're seeing in terms of our level of development and our per capita income compared to those other countries.
Right. Because of what we are going through, the experience that we have, Dion, we are unable to attract and retain the talent that we need to run the public bureaucracy. That is going to change in salaries alone will not fix it, but it will go a long way towards addressing that problem. Last year
starve the children. They started to force the people, but I want to make you aware tonight, Jamaica. Nigel Clark, the new monies that you print, Nigel Clark, let's call him a second for me. Nigel Clark, the new monies that you have printed, is there any truth to the argument that the monies are not readable at the ATM? Nigel Clark, the 1 billion Jamaican dollars that was spent on printing new money, are those monies readable at the ATM machine? The new monies that you say going available 2020-23 of June. Tell the people them if the money them can read in at the ATM machine them. Tell the people them tonight now, Minister of Finance. Tell the people them if the machine them read the money. Can you tell Jamaicans tonight if the machine is reading the money? The new $2,000 note, the new $5,000 note. Can you tell them? if the monies are being read by the ATM, or if there is a dysfunctionality of the money. Will that be a precursor to say, oh, remember Jamaica? If you listen to the story of what was happening in Nigeria, the new currency became inaccessible because they started to pull the old currency, and the new currency became inaccessible. And with that inaccessibility, Jamaica, it forced 60% of the Nigerian people to buy in to the concept.
Now keep in mind that the economy and the GDP, the gross domestic produce, which is the amount of money being spent on goods from Jamaica itself, is how the economy does better. Now with the amount of money being allocated from tax collection to just pay elected officials salaries, this in a country where individuals are saying what is really being done by certain elected officials. At this moment in time, the only MP or the only elected official with a portfolio who can say, well, his ministry is still doing extremely good despite all of what take place. And just the Minister of Tourism, despite all of the travel advisories based on what is taking place with crime, the tourism sector is still saying that they are bringing revenue in the high billions. They are saying that the tourism sector is still one of the only sectors that is still doing well. After the matter, we now say $1 billion from taxpayer money are going to need it to cover these wages. Not with all the restrictions will take place. Not when it's hard for you bring in goods from overseas to do business locally. Not when it's hard for you export the things that are being grown on the island. These are the things that we have to deal with first. Not when members of law enforcement say they want an increase and have to wait how long to get an increase. Not when teachers say they want an increase and have to wait how long and then with the increase given to teachers. Now we see why church leaders are saying that. It's shameful. It's immoral. It's almost like some of the things we see happening in some other countries, and we say there was a statement given. Them say one of the reasons why certain countries in Africa are not as wealthy or prosperous as places like Dubai and other countries. They were saying it was leadership. It wasn't because these countries didn't have resources. As we know, almost all African countries have some form of resource where the whole world use. But they must say the leadership and the mismanagement of those resources that make other countries' economies are doing way better than those countries who actually have the resources that these other countries' economies are used. One thing like gold. Now some of the countries where most of the gold is mined, the economy not do that well. They must have leadership. I won't say I take place right now. With the country now make enough money. They must say this. They must say the country now make enough money. Then oh, you gotta pay elected officials the amount of money you wanna say you want to pay elected officials. We don't say oh it makes sense. And then when they interview the finance minister, him couldn't really explain. And him the finance minister. Oh, the finance minister not understand how the finances of the country are going. He don't know how to explain to the people why these increases for politicians were necessary. But them come tell us that the increases were being made. Was it not thought through? Talk to me in the comment section. Tell me what you really think will take place. Is it that the administration feels as if they won't win another election, and as thus they decide for hike up wages now and get to them can get? I don't know. And at this moment, the administration in power is still the administration that people feel like say would have been elected again. So I don't know what this is all about. Talk to me in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, subscribe icon, then the bell icon. Of course, through the reason again, more to live, love, and prosper, and stay tuned.